On episode 125 of Tech Talk Taco Tuesday, we get into, well, we shuffled our staff. I think we got rid of some people. Then this clown named Jesse Ziegler came on and made us talk about racing. And you know how much we like racing. So we wasted at least an hour talking about the Dakar, which is going on right now. And I'd like to thank Yamaha, Moto, Scott Sports, Climb, DDC, Trail Tech, and BulletProof Designs for bringing this show, which includes your favorite segment, Roost or Endo. And as always, we're looking for video submissions under 2 minutes. Make them interesting for Roost or Endo. So now here's the show.
Yes, now.
That's all you have to do is push 2 buttons, is what Matt says. Welcome to Tech Talk Taco Tuesday, everybody. My name is Jimmy Lewis. This is Jimmy Tyler. So the show is Jimmy's. This is episode 125, if I got my math right, of Tech Talk Taco Tuesday. This is the show where we answer motorcycle and tile questions. I can answer probably 2 out of 10 questions you asked me about how to tile your bathroom, because that's what I've been doing lately.
Architectural door hardware too.
Oh, any architectural door hardware questions will be answered tonight live on this show, because we aim to please here. I don't know how long we're believe it or not, we're actually live on the Instagrams too, for those that are like old like us. Kids are still on Instagram, right, Logan?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Logan says Instagram's cool. Hopefully I got the camera angle right. And this show is brought to you by, it would not be possible without. We have a lot of love for our sponsors. That is Yamaha, Moto, Scott Sports, DDC, Trail Tech, BulletProof Designs. I think BulletProof Designs is still on. I don't know. Trevor's got to work on that one. Costa Rica Unlimited. That's the tours down in Costa Rica, and they're new. They just joined us. It's super awesome. And I'm pretty sure that after I negotiate a little bit more with my connection, we're going to have like some kind of really cool thing. If you go to Costa Rica Unlimited Tours and tell them you heard about it on Tech Talk Taco Tuesday, you're going to get a little bonus.
I'm in.
You're in?
That place sounds fun.
Oh, it should be really fun. Yeah. It should be good. So Costa Rica Unlimited, if you want to go ride their dirt bike down in Costa Rica, that's where you want to go. Also coming on board real soon, Fast Company, makers of Flex handlebars. So we got to negotiate that deal. Everybody wants to jump on board. Show's blowing up. If you really want to support the show, you just as a regular viewer and stuff, we don't have that pay me on. What do you call it? Pay me extra? OnlyFans. Oh, no, I'm not on that either. We have, let's see, we have, Rocky Mountain MC ATV. They support us by, we have a link through on our website. So if you go to dirtbiketest.com and click on one of the banner things there, and we also have the Amazon banner. So we're doing all little things to kind of make nickels and dimes flow this general direction so we can keep doing this show and provide you with mostly accurate motorcycle advice. We got a special guest coming on the show if he decides to show up.
Yeah, it's gonna be cool
via Zoom. Mm-hmm. And the show could be even worse, right, Logan?
Yes.
It was only 2 buttons, is what they said. So we got a lot of you handling the chat.
Yeah.
Okay. You're talking a lot more than you do when you're a co-host.
Well, all I'm saying is yes. But
yeah.
When I'm a co-host, the rule is more than 3 words.
He says, yes.
Yes. And we've quit picking on you for that. So, okay, I'm going to let all you Instagrammers go. Welcome to so we see those cameras. You have to go watch it because it's going to go from here to those cameras, and then we're done. We will catch you on the other show. Oh, yeah, if you ask questions, I guess you could DM Dirt Bike Test. Would that be the best way?
On Instagram?
What would be the best way, Logan, to get us on Instagrams?
Instagram?
Yeah, DM us the questions. Or we should make a post.
Trevor makes a post.
Yeah, Trevor, because Trevor has a question. Trevor, make a post on Instagram and then collect questions. Okay, that's all.
Slide on
That's how we're doing. Okay, see everybody on Instagram. We're done with that. I hope. How do I turn it off? And now. All I know how to do is I've got you in my pocket.
Yeah.
I'm good at that. Like that doesn't require. I think I can share that. I can share it right now, and then write a caption. Question. QUESTI questions. There. Return. New post. Done. I don't know how to make this work. So this is why I don't do much social media, by the way. And Victor says, keep pushing Jimbo's buttons. Thanks, Victor. Do you know how to work Instagram?
I've made 10 posts in
Here,
2
Logan,
years.
turn this into a post. Make this into a post somehow. Great radio. Awesome show.
Send. Yeah.
Experience a pure, I can't even do a read now. Experience pure performance and exhilarating endos. No, that's what I do. Power with the full line of Yamaha YZ two-stroke bikes. Visit YamahaMotorsports.com today to explore what's new for 2022. And if you do it right, you'll be riding a 2022 YZ 125 like I have been. I wish my shoulder did not hurt as much as it has been. This has been, I actually have to take a couple days off every few days because, shoulder's not doing too good. So, Jimmy, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. Good to be here.
So you're usually over in the hot seat over there with Bob in the green.
See how he fell asleep without me there?
Yeah, I know. That's what happens. You keep jabbing him over there. But Jimmy is Logan's dad, and we decided to bring him on because Logan is over here now that Matt flew the coop. So we're gonna keep this thing. This is why this is going to be a better show. I thought we should actually get a format now.
Floor mat?
A better
I
format.
got you a floor mat for Christmas.
A floor mat.
Yeah.
Oh, my cat likes to dig its claws into that thing like crazy. She sneaks in here just to do that. Actually, you hear it sounds like somebody's tearing a wall down, and the cat's just on there clawing
going to town.
that doormat. DDC is great sprockets. Check out ddcracing.net if you want to get some sprockets. Another great sponsor of ours is Takamoto. And they are sponsoring our Rooster Endo segment. And if you're not familiar with that, it's where you send us a picture of your bike and a description of what you've done to it. Or even better, you give us a short 2-minute video of your bike where you talk about the things you've done to it. And then we will simply decide from afar whether your bike roosts or endos. And the bike that we deem as our favorite pick gets $100 gift certificate from Takamoto, which is pretty awesome. So submit those rooster endos. We have a big board up here above us. We have a whole board over there that hasn't been integrated into the board because my new producer is still trying to figure out how to work my phone.
It's already up.
It's up already.
Yeah.
You didn't get into my Grindr account, did you?
No.
Okay. I don't want you to see any of my secrets. So, okay, that's kind of like OnlyFans, Logan. A little different. So welcome everybody to the show. We will get straight to the questions on the sheets. We're going to start with those ones. Is Jesse on yet? Has he called in? Not yet. He's hiding. We'll go straight to the questions on the sheets. We had a couple good ones. So really, you have to do that?
Oh, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Shoosh.
Actually, here's what Logan said when we said, "Hey, my dad could be on a co-host," and I'm like, "Okay," and he goes, "Just stick sponsor stickers to him."
Run DDC, baby.
There we go. You run DDC.
Yeah. I'm about to order some because I'm building some spare wheels.
Order early.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
There's supply chains everywhere. Supply chains.
Uh-huh.
And you can get a regular chain and a sprocket from DDC. So go ahead. First, what's our first question?
Kevin Wevoda.
Kevin Wevoda.
We vodka too. KTM connecting rod question. 2017 250 XCW. The stock connecting rod has a cutout in the small end. The Pro X has 2 holes. Pro X piston, I assume.
Yep.
I know these are for lubrication purposes, but I'm wondering if one is better than the other. Thanks for the podcast, for the rad podcast and tech info. Thanks. P.S. Logan is doing a great job, but don't stop busting his balls. Kids nowadays don't get enough of that. I agree there, Kevin.
Yeah. So that's interesting. So slot versus holes. And he's KTM 250?
XCW.
So is that XC?
No, that's a two-stroke.
It's a two-stroke.
Yeah.
Because I've seen a couple.
Not a lot of people have 250 XCWs, huh? Or 300 thing, huh?
Yeah, there's a fair amount out there. I remember the first year they brought him in. Well, it seemed like there was, but until it was fuel injection, everybody was on 250s, and then they kind of switched. Yeah. Well, they went back and forth.
Yeah.
But that's a good question. It is for lubrication, and I think you have to start thinking about. Man, I'd have to ask somebody that knows better than me. I wonder if Chris Reel, he's a lubrication guy.
God.
But engine building guys, I'm trying to think if there would be an advantage between a hole and a slot when we're talking about, because what you're trying to do is you're trying to get some of that, the oil to collect up in there. And he's saying there was two holes.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I know. I'm sorry. I said Pro X piston. He was talking about Pro X rod.
Pro X rod, a con rod. So he's talking about the small end. He's talking about the small end.
Small end, yeah.
And I'm sitting there thinking, okay,
all the ones I'm familiar have the slot
on the. Oh, really?
Yeah.
I've seen a lot more holes on the small end. The big end, it's always a slot.
Definitely.
And I'm starting to wonder if there's
starting to second guess that,
if there's some advantage to having. I in all honesty, I don't think it's going to make that big of a difference. In fact, we just rebuilt our Yamaha YZ250 FX with a lot of Pro X stuff. So we have we put a new connecting rod in there, basically a rod kit, pressed it in there, and it had holes also. And I'm trying to remember what the stock one. The stock one also may have had a slot, but I'm pretty sure only had a single hole. Not two, and that's why I'm kind of curious. I don't think I've ever seen one with two holes in it, but this is an interesting question. I'm sure there might be somebody out there that knows more about this than I do, but I mean, I'm just sitting there thinking like, would a hole collect more lubricant than a slot, or how it all kind of
it might collect it, but it also. I would guess a slot would collect it easier, but sling it easier too, right? So kind of.
Yeah, and you wonder why it's always a slot on the big end.
Always a slot there.
And you think about how it's kind of spinning around there, and if it was a hole with that thing spinning around that much distance, where the one on top is actually catching.
Yeah, it's not
stuff. It's not, it's that gas is kind of swirling underneath the piston. When the piston comes down, it would get up underneath it, and then it could fall into the hole or the slot. I guess kind of the same. There's got to be somebody that knows more about this than I do.
A good question.
It's a good question. I wish I had a great answer for you. That's the 10th question. That's why I can't answer it, because I'd have to refer to.
Yeah.
We can Google it, I guess.
Nah.
See, if Logan were sitting there, he would be Googling it already. Would you have the answer already? To the question. He's going, what question? It's hard to do that stuff over there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I don't do it. Next question.
San Felipe Bob, affectionately known as SFB around here. Logan, two-stroke, 125, 200, 250, or 300 for a teenager doing hard enduro.
I personally have not really tried recently the 200 or the 250 two-strokes, but the 125 was not great because it was the KTM SX, but still did the job. So I would have to go with the KTM 300. That's the
for a teenager.
Yes.
I'm going to disagree with you.
Maybe a big teenager. 200, right?
Because I watch him ride. I watch him ride the 300.
Yeah,
it's a lot of bike for even. What do you weigh at now? What are you weighing?
130.
130 pounds. That thing's still kind of whipping him around, and he's not hasn't muscled up into his body yet, and
balls dropped.
It even thanks, Dad. Even those bikes even move me around. They jack me around, but I think the 200 is the perfect bike for this, and here's the reason: because it has the lightweight and the nimble feel of the 2-stroke of the 125, and then it has enough torque for someone that's under 150 pounds, where there's plenty of torque in that motorcycle to get the job done, and it doesn't have too much power to get you in trouble. Because when you listen to Logan ride his 300 that he loves so much, he never turns the throttle far enough to make it make more than 200 power.
True.
At peak.
True, yeah.
Sure, he's getting more torque
here and there, but
more torque
for the most part, no. Yeah.
Maybe when he goes down a road, but the question was for extreme enduro.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And then that extra few pounds that you're going to save might make a little bit of difference when things start tipping over. But usually when things start tipping over, that's when people usually add a little bit too much power into the equation. And so then the bike starts feeling a lot heavier than it actually physically weighs. So that's what 200s were for. That's why they were such a great displacement, because they do that. And just seems like 2-strokes are working a little bit better at extreme enduro these days.
So who's left making them new? Beta. That's it?
Yeah, Beta.
Shurka and those guys don't make them, or
I don't know if there's a Shurka 200.
I don't think there is, but I think just Beta.
Yeah,
so
Beta has
new Beta, old KTM.
New Beta. New Beta is really good.
I agree.
And Bob's a Beta guy now.
Yeah, Bob's a Beta.
He has a Beta 300.
Kind of chop Bob's question off here.
Oh, well, I can only answer one at a time, and he seems to spit them out.
Oh, is that what that? Okay, yeah.
There's another question.
I'm the new guy, Bob. So, have you guys thrown the gauntlet, the Kenda gauntlet? They performed perfectly in wet desert soil, testing in Arizona this weekend.
So, yeah, the gauntlet is their extreme enduro tire. It's like a gummy. It's a gummy, called a gummy washougal, is kind of what the tread pattern is, I think. It's a little bit. Actually, it's kind of like a cross between a Parker and a washougal. I've run it, and believe it or not, I actually prefer the Equilibrium, and that's probably because I probably have more throttle control than most people, and it's like a trials tire, but it's got wider spacing. But when you get a tire that has a lot of footprint, a lot of knobs spinning, it tends to want to keep spinning. It doesn't want to grab, where a tire which like the Gauntlet, which has a big block and a tall knobby, those are like, teeth, or more like a paddle, and they will reach and grab for stuff, and which I don't think is a good thing when it's spinning. But when it's spinning, it will grab a little bit better than the Equilibrium. But yeah, I've tried it, and the bike, I put it I put it on my Husaberg, and it didn't last very long. yeah. The Berg power exceeded the.
You didn't have enough throttle control for that?
No, I didn't have enough throttle control on that. Well, the problem was it was like
did the grin kind of get the best of you?
It was in wet dirt, and it was okay when we were in the sand, but we went on some more rocky trails, and I just shredded that thing. Okay. It was kind of funny because we were riding the sand washes. Everything's awesome. I'm just drawing art all over the sand wash. And then we went in the rocky trails, and the thing works really good. I mean, it hooks up and goes. And then I went in the sand wash, and I'm like, hey, what's going on here?
Nothing left.
Yeah, there was a substantial number of knobs, no longer the thing. By the way, Kenda does help out Jimmy Lewis off-road training. So always be aware of that when I start talking about tires. I use quite a bit of Kenda tires. I endorse Kenda tires. They're all really good. I generally run the Parkers and the Equilibrium in the rear, just for your FYI, in case you're wondering, my personal tire of choice. And you can also join us at Jimmy Lewis Off-Road Training. We have a couple openings in the class this weekend. So if you want to become a better rider, just by next Monday, by 1 week from today, and then another day, you can be a better rider for sure. Check out www.jimmylewisoffroad.com. And is Jesse called in, or did he ditch us?
I don't know. He was told to come in at 7:15.
All right. What time is it now?
7:20.
He's late. It'd be typical.
Oh,
He's kind of like he's in the waiting room, and you were leaving him there.
New guy.
Yeah. Okay. Let's get you bring him into the show, and Jimmy will ask me another question.
Okay. From Tom Kopek.
Okay.
Kopecki.
Skip that question. Go to the next one because that's a good question for
Trevor Hunter guy. Never heard of him. Never heard of her.
Yeah.
How much gas is too much gas when racing in the desert? Oh, no.
Did you hear about this?
I heard him post that he can't wait for electric bikes come along, and I didn't quite but now I do. I saw his post where he said e-bikes can't come soon enough for electric motorcycles.
Why? I think his joke there was he was hoping everybody else would run out too. His partner, like I think is likes to use a lot of gas and a lot of tires and makes a lot of dust. And so they managed they were probably the only people to run out of gas in that section, right?
Okay.
I don't know. I didn't get the full
I actually didn't know he ran out of gas.
I was going to make a joke. I had a thing here that said, I don't even know what it said, but I made a joke about Trevor, but he answered his own question. Oh, cause he sent me a picture of a plugged fuel injector. Cause he calls me all the time. He's like, "Hey Jimmy, this bike's doing this." I'm like, so is it spark or is it gas? Okay, it's gas. Well, we're at this and that. And he asked, and I go, "The fuel injector's plugged." A week later, he goes, "Yeah, I switched the fuel injector and it runs fine now." And I'm like, "Well, go give it to your partner and see if you can run out of gas."
There you go.
So,
yeah.
Anyways,
that's a way to save gas.
Jesse Ziegler, welcome to Tech Talk Taco Tuesday.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah. Why do we only get your voice?
I don't know. My camera's on.
It's my fault.
Yeah, it's something to do with my producer. He's new.
Okay. I had the same problem with my podcast show.
Do you guys do any cameras on yours?
No, that sounds too complicated.
You should do on the Dakar Daily Show, which is Jesse.
Dakar Rally Daily.
Dakar Rally Daily. That isn't on Tuesday night at 7 p.m. It's the best show that's not on at that time. Okay, good. At least I'm still better. My podcast is better than your podcast.
I need to get on this program because this is way easier than waking up at 4:30 in the morning.
I can see you on the other screen. So you've got a nice background. It's almost as good as ours. It looked professional. So we should try to get that up there, or if you do it, you're going to break the whole show, right, Logan?
No, I got it.
You got it fixed.
Yeah.
Look at that.
That's a 10-foot banner, and that is the only part of my garage that's clean. Is 10 feet in the corner.
That was my second iteration of Tech Talk Taco Tuesday. It was me in my garage, but I didn't even have a banner. I really struggled to find that clean section. But I think
it's fake. The rest of it's a shit show.
Well, hey, welcome to the show, Jesse. Again, the Dakar Rally Daily Podcast. And if you are not listening to this every day, you need to go subscribe to it. It's brought to you by Climb.
Yeah, it is.
Jesse, you probably don't know this, but I wear Climb gear all the time, and I mostly wear Climb Dakar gear. So it's funny how that segue just transfers right in.
It's funny how this keeps going on. It's my favorite Climb gear too. By far.
Yeah.
I don't even know why they bothered to make another gear.
We are down the home stretch for probably, it could be one of the most exciting Dakars in history as far as not knowing what's going to happen, having so many guys so close together with just 3 days to go. And I can only imagine it's going to be I think you said it just a moment ago, a shit show.
It is going to be it's going to be dramatic, that's for sure. As much as you can predict Dakar rally racing, as you know very well, there's some stuff shaking out for a perfect storm for some shenanigans to happen. But like you said, I think the top 6 are all within 10 minutes of each other, with 2 really big days to go. Big days, like 750K today, right now, that they're starting on.
Yeah, I clicked on the map and they're riding a liaison, while we're doing this janky.
They started at 4 a.m. Saudi time this morning. 4 a.m. They got on the bikes Like they set their alarms at 2:30 to get all geared up, take off on the highway for a nice, couple 100-mile ride before they have to start their race day, which is crazy because it's the 10th day in a row they've been doing that.
Yeah, I don't remember. Like I remember long liaisons when I was doing it. When you were in Europe, you rode you rode all day long. You rode from here to San Francisco. Some sort of 8-9 hour ride with a 45-minute at the most special. And actually, most of them were like 10 minutes, 10 or 15. They were kind of just for show, not really for anything else. And I know in South America, the liaisons and stuff were just getting out of control. It was, they were having so much liaison and so little racing. And it's good to see them bringing a lot of racing stages back. I don't really know how populated Saudi is, but it is kind of a shame. I don't know. I've got a question for you. Is like how to make the Dakar Rally better, or how to solve some of the problems. And we'll get into this because I think a lot of people would like to hear this on this show, and then you can steal my idea, and then you can put it on your show. And because you have an expert, you have
doing it for a long time.
Yeah, you have Quinn Cody on your show, who definitely handles the expert duties quite well, and makes you look.
Yeah, I'm not dumb. I'll bring people that are smarter than me on my show, and I started my show with someone who is smarter than me too.
That's good.
He's a great resource. Quinn can really relate, like, to without the BS, fantasy forum warrior spirit that I have about the rally. He can cut right through that and be like, yeah, that's never going to happen. Like, nobody's thinking that. Like, that's not going to happen. You're out. You're stupid. Like, right away, because he knows like the reality boots on the ground sort of things that are going on. And I'm just out here in fantasy land, like always, like, oh, what did he do that? Did he slow down on purpose today? And he's like, no. There's only one person that slowed down on purpose this race, and that was Daniel Sanders. Nobody else is doing that on purpose. And I'm like, okay, that makes sense. So he always checks me. So he's like the good, check system for my alternative reality.
I think I don't know, but I think there's a little more. I think there's a little more strategy going on than you're seeing on the surface, there is now. Yeah, there is definitely. And I don't think but the thing is, it's so hard for the riders to do because they you listen to any of them, a lot of them are riding all day by themselves, and they're not, and the only time they really have to gauge this is when they come into the fuel stop.
Right.
It's the only time you can, unless you're getting passed by a few guys, and then you could say, okay, I've slowed down this much. And there's ways to kind of do some quick percentages. But anyways, what is Tom Coppelli? Coppy? What's Tom's question, Jimmy?
Will the rally Kopke, actually, guys.
Kopke? Okay.
Kopke.
Oh, I can't see that. So it's not my bad comment.
You're clear. Will the Rally Navigator software work well to pilot out of fire trail routes in northern Wisconsin? Will it work well with the Trail Tech Voyager Pro and highlight the predetermined route? Or will a small tablet be better? If a tablet, what's the best way to mount them?
So Jesse, on this show, we answer the questions with the authority of experts. So I thought since Rally Navigator is a sponsor of your show, I thought that you would be able to answer that question. Better than me.
I think what Rally Navigator would do for you the best is it's a very good mapping tool, whether or not you're going to do a rally or not. Whether or not you're going to make a road book. It's very good at allowing you to draw a line where you want to go riding or you think you want to go riding, and then exporting either a road book for that or even just a GPX file. It'll make you a route. So if you exported a GPX or any of the other GPS style files out of Rally Navigator, you could load them into your Trail Tech Voyager and you could follow them around, as the little triangle following the line like you're driving a car. You could do that. But what I would recommend is making a road book out of it, and then trying to navigate through your route with the roadbook instructions. And you can do that with their free software that you can just put on your phone. You don't need a fancy tablet if you just want to try it.
You can actually on most tablets, that app works on the tablets as well.
Sure.
So,
Yeah. If you didn't want to go out and buy something new, you probably already have a phone. Just download their.
You're
Rally
trying to
Navigator.
you're trying to turn this guy into a rally guy.
He
He just wants to follow a track.
So cool. You have to try it, because when you ride that way and you get to experience like thinking about where you're going to turn instead of just following a line and an arrow, your experience on the motorcycle or whatever you're in is totally different. It's a totally different experience. And you start really being engaged in the whole ride. I did a couple road books with Quinn a couple years ago, and I got back and I said, I don't know where I was today, but I was having fun the whole time. I have no idea where I rode today. No idea. All I know is I started at the truck. I rode all day and I got back to the truck.
You rode out at the Black Mountain Ranch, right? That's where you did this,
that
right?
one. Yeah, we did that day.
And the funny thing is that's a horrible place to ride just in general.
Yeah.
I mean,
We just
like
needed that good base camp.
It's not the best as far as the riding goes, but when you're preaching to the choir here with like road books, you could actually ride someplace. And he said Wisconsin, roads, and I'm in northern Wisconsin, and I'm just going, I don't really know about the riding there, but okay. It
doesn't matter.
But I've heard guys that are in horrible areas say they started doing road books and it made their riding fun again because they were kind of burnt out on their areas. But anyways, it will work. Rally Navigator will work anywhere in the world because it's based off of, it uses, I don't know what they're using on the current version, because did you guys drop the hints about RN2?
I didn't yet. I did get some information from Mike about it. So they are doing some updates to the software, and I'm sure you're working on their beta version heavily. To update
for the last year, we've been using a newer one. So we're
man-proof.
Right, because you saw me try to. You should have seen me try to go on Instagram for the beginning of the show, and I mean, I see kids go on Instagram, and if the kids can do it, well, I should be able to do it. But anyway, so there's the new it'll be a desktop version as opposed to online based version. But so wherever it's using, whether it's using Google Earth, like the current Rally Navigator, or using something like Mapbox, which is what the new one uses, which is another, mapping software. Anywhere that software works, anywhere you can get an image of the Earth, then you can do rally routes. I could right now, I could go and make a rally route in Saudi Arabia right now, of all things. Hey, you know how good this show is, Jesse? Just want you to know how good of a guest you are right now. You have put Mojave Bob to sleep. You put him. No, he's over there snoring with his mask on because he doesn't want to give Logan COVID. Like he,
How do I know what you talked about before I got there that put Bob to sleep?
Well, good point. That's a good. You couldn't hear everything that we were talking about on the show when we got started?
I was in the dark. You should have woke Bob up and said, Jesse's coming on the show. He'd have been like, I'm here for that. That sounds fun.
Just dozing off over there. It's the most exciting thing that he does all week, and he comes here and falls asleep. It's amazing. So anyways, you can export out the GPX files. You can put them on your Trail Tech Voyager Pro. Trail Tech is a sponsor of this show. The Voyager Pro. Check out the new aluminum docks for your Voyager Pro, because if you want a little more robust, if you're really doing some off-road riding and you want to make sure that Voyager Pro easily comes on and off your motorcycle and stays there when it's on there and stays connected with power, check out the new Voyager Pro docks from Trail Tech.
Look what I found in the corner of my clean garage.
Oh, look at that. Yeah. That's a nice Trail Tech. I have we use those on our tours, which you're familiar with. You've been on a tour with Johnny Campbell.
It has my name on it.
Oh, exactly.
I know it's mine.
That's good, because if you would have left it around here, somebody would have stole it from sure.
That's why I want it. But I think to get back to Tom's point of trying to use Rally Navigator, you can use it for anything you want to do, anytime you want to make a route anywhere. But do yourself a favor and make a road book out of just hit export road book PDF at the end of the process. Download their viewing app to view it on your phone or a tablet. Find a way to mount it on your bike just to try it and go out and see what it's like to navigate on a road book navigation.
Totally agreed. It's a great first step, and it'll just, like I said, make the riding even more fun. And then you and your buddies can go out and do rides. And
that's what I was going to say next is make sure your buddy ride it, but don't tell him what it is. Just say, "Hey, are you riding this? Go," and then follow behind him and laugh at it when they make all the wrong turns.
Right. It's a little bit more difficult than you would think. So, okay, back to the Dakar. Your show gets uploaded about 9:00 every morning during the rally.
I try.
You try?
I really try. I try to get it out the door by 9. We record for about an hour and a half, 2 hours, depending on when people call in or who's available, because we're calling these guys in the bivouac in Saudi 11 hours ahead of us. So they're usually winding down by the time we get to the studio. And whether they had a good day or a bad day, or if they've been beat down or worn out from liaisons, or, they're bummed out from losing time, we're kind of cautious about who we reach out to and call, and we don't want to burn any bridges because we want to, keep them talking to us. So sometimes we got to be a little later, but we try by 9 to get everything done. Yeah.
Yeah. That's amazing technology, the way that it works. I mean, when I was over there, my dad would wait for like a fax to come from someone that was getting the information in France. They would like somehow be able to fax some results. And I think on my, even in 2000, I think I called home to talk to my wife like 2 times, maybe 3.
Like a satellite phone?
Yeah, it was a satellite phone. It had to be. Or it was a satellite. It had to be a satellite phone because there was no other way. There was no cell towers in Africa back then.
I mean, we've gone through the gamut of messaging platforms. When Skylar was still in the race, I'd send him a WhatsApp message, and then I would try to call him on WhatsApp, and WhatsApp wouldn't work. It'd be like blocked by the Saudi government, internet tent, whatever they put up over their country. And then I'd send him I'd just call him FaceTime audio, and FaceTime audio would just totally not work. And they're like, "No, all Apple devices are banned by the prince or something." And then I would send him another call, and he's like, "Try a Facebook Messenger call." And I'm like, "Okay, I'll try that." And I did it, and it was like crystal clear. And that's the episode where he's standing there and he's like, "Oh, hey, Mason's here." And he's talking to Mason. So we're having a Mason Klein, Skylar Howe's interview. And then he's like, "Hey, Matthias Wagner just walked by. You want to talk to him too?" "Sure." So then all 3 of them were talking to us on this Facebook audio messenger call. And I'm like, I'm glad this is working out. And it's all pumping into my computer and then somehow recording at the same time. But it was like, it's a crapshoot every time. We never know if it's going to work. We're like, "Oh, maybe a phone call works." Like we called Johnny Campbell today and we just called his regular phone number and it worked.
Yeah, the technology, and even just like you talked about earlier, how Quinn can just kind of like look and see what the keyboard warriors are saying and all this conspiracy theory and the stuff like that. I don't even like to look at it because it makes me angry. I mean, it's like, I understand these guys are fans and it's great. And then it's great that there's enthusiasm, but I like, look at this stuff. I'm like, where'd you get that idea? It's like, it's so foreign. And so again,
plus the race doesn't really need any help being dramatic. It doesn't need more drama than it's already.
No,
like we're going into the most unpredictable 2 weeks of racing anywhere in the world. Like nothing is as complicated and as gnarly as this race, plain and simple. And like, you can't predict what's going to happen for so long. You can only just kind of react to what is happening. And then now we get to the point where there's real cards on the table. And now you can start guessing, but literally like the shit show could happen tomorrow. And, Matthias Wagner and Sam Smith could lose an hour again.
Yeah. It wouldn't take much. So I'll tell you my conspiracy theory or whatever. Like I think I talked about it when you guys had me on. I believe it was on rest day, and I said that I don't like it when you hear guys using the words guess and luck when they're talking about how their day went. And I think especially
I got lucky.
I'm pretty sure on the first day that the note that really tripped everybody up and that little thing.
Yeah.
That they're, like I said, they've gone past tricky and they've made it so that it's you're going to have to guess. You're going to have to do all the navigation and guess. And don't get me wrong, that there's some of these guys that are literally, that's how they navigate. They kind of guess a lot. And then a lot of times they have tracks to follow. And some of the notes now, and you've seen pictures of these, what we'll call double and triple notes with very complex looking pictures. And when you learn how to look at that and how to take the important stuff out, filter it down into doing something, there's, people would say, well, some people would just kind of guess at that note, but a really good navigator would know exactly what to do. And if you did exactly what you're supposed to do, you would come out and then the next note would magically appear. Not magically, it would appear because it's supposed to, because you did the right thing. But now you do the note just like the note's supposed to be done. And then you don't know whether it's right. And then it gets, so it's, I think they went a little overboard. And I wouldn't be surprised if after that happened that they kind of took a second look at some of the road books, and like I'd heard there was multiple guys making the road books, and maybe it was a certain guy and that was his style. And, to be vague, because I know that there's one of the map book guys is very, very vague. he purposely, because he thinks the navigation should be a lot harder, but at some point you still can't guess. So I'm thinking that they might have gone through the road books and had a second look at some of them and then updated them so they don't have this. The next thing being said is that I know a lot of the riders and teams are paying real close attention to the descriptions of the course, and then the checkpoint times that are provided, like when the opening and closing of the checkpoints is, so to guess the speed average, as well as the description. And then when the organization says, hey, this is going to be a really tricky day, like yesterday was, it may have been a really tricky day and they kind of had to fix it, or are they just making that kind of a guess too?
It seems to be inconsistent. Today's stage was supposed to have really tricky navigation. They set everybody up to go into it nervously. So the guys that were leading out really kind of got spooked a little bit. Like Sunderland won the day before, came in today leading, and he was pretty nervous about it. You could hear in his quotes that he was like, but the good news is I won a stage. The bad news is, I got to pay for it tomorrow. But it ended up being a pretty easy navigation.
What was his swing like? 14 minutes?
Today he lost not that much, honestly.
Because it seems like the normal swing is to me. It seems like it's between like a 15 at a minimum would be the minimum you're going to lose, and 25 would be the average.
It was, but just
2018
yesterday. Or I should say, the day before yesterday and yesterday's stage, because they're racing now. It was that way until then. Now it was only 8 minutes yesterday. So Sam was leading yesterday, and he didn't finish he finished 13th today, but he only dropped 8 minutes. So it really, the whole race has gone like big gaps. Now they're just going sucking down. Like, and you get 13th and only lose 8 minutes right now, and you're in first or second place still in the general classification, which he is. He's in a sweet spot. But I mean, you say that, and then there's 700K riding they have to do today. Like, so much shit can go wrong today.
And so you look at kind of like the swing and times, and if they said difficult navigation, I would expect the loss in time to be more around the 20, 25 minute, 20, higher than 20. And then, so who knows, maybe they're just playing with it. So who's your pick? Who's your pick, Jesse? I know you guys do this on your show. We're going to
we do a lot of pickings. There's a couple guys that are in really good spots. So there's sort of two waves right now, as you say, on the flop, basically, for people that are leading one day and then they have to lead out the next day, right? So really, Kevin Benavides, and he's kind of like in that middle zone. He did a really good job today. He's got a little bit of time to make up. He's got like 10 minutes to make up to get into the overall ranking. He's kind of on that level.
Like you say, if this flop is usually 20 minutes, 10 minutes is nothing. So anybody that's kind of within that 10 minute range, but it's sort of the way I look at it now, it's like Right. And which side, what day are you on? Like, are we going to have a race on the last day? Is there enough time to be made up on the last day? Because they've even said that the last day is supposed to be tricky navigation. So,
it's only like 130K. So look at this, like in the general rankings. So the top 6 guys are within 10 minutes of each other. The top 4 guys are in 4 minutes of each other. So they're all essentially tied.
It doesn't even count. It's like
so
4
if you think of that,
minutes.
And then the swing, like on the outside of that swing, is 10 minutes away. So you're like, well, these guys are crushing it. So then you have to start looking at where they finish today and where they start tomorrow, right? Because really the timing is kind of tied. So now you're racing for a win almost at the end of the stage. Because if you can gain 15 minutes and there's only 4 minutes separating the top 4, you're going to be quite a bit ahead.
Adrian Van Beveren.
Yeah. He's in a really good spot.
French rider. French team.
Spot because he's in the middle. He doesn't have to decide when he's going to race for the win yet. He can hang out. He can ride fifth place, and then he can hammer on the final stage.
Yeah, I think he's sitting in a really good spot. But I just said they've got really sharp people on that team. You know, I know a few people on that team, and they've got a long history. And my old teammate Andrea Meyer Peter Hansel. Oh yeah. Andrea, knows a thing or two about the rally. Her husband knows an awful lot about the rally.
So Andrew mentioned her in our interview. He was really happy that she was on the team this year. You could tell that she was a big asset to the team.
Yeah, she knows what's going on, and just as a competitor, as a being able to manage a team and understand all that stuff. But like that team is sitting in a very good spot, especially after such a disastrous last year. And then a lot of like what I hear on your guys' podcasts, I can listen to the riders' voices. And there's a few guys, Kevin Benavides is one of them that's very upbeat. Adrian sounds pretty good when you hear his interviews and things. But I think it'll be interesting. I really wish
it's gonna be cool. It's gonna be a big fight between those Yamaha and KTM guys. And Sam has obviously been in control for a lot of the race. And he's got 2 stage wins now. So Sam's got the potential to get in front and stay in front as well. I wouldn't definitely count him out. So really, I mean, you look at the top 4 and then you add in, Benavides, who's just outside the top 5. It's probably going to be one of those guys, or, John Beretta somehow freaking wins the rally finally.
Yeah, that would be,
He's only 10 minutes out. He's 11.
Hey, if you wanted to throw in the send it card, that guy has so much send it potential. It's not even funny.
And talking, we talked to Ricky and Nacho today in the motorhome, and it was kind of the first day after Nacho's won, 2 stages in the last 3. And you can really feel that they're upbeat and they're kind of happy about where they're at, even though Ricky's still 35 minutes back. Nacho's 32 minutes back. They know where they're at and what they're doing. And I think they're just going to go out there and just keep hammering down as much as they can. But they sound better, like you were saying. They sound like, they're confident in where their team is and where they are in the race. You know what happened earlier? They've left it behind them now. They're just hammered out.
Oh, so they haven't left it behind. They're pissed. They're not.
They're pissed. They're pissed. Oh, Ricky was so mad at the race today. He was so mad, as he should be, for sure.
Right. It's you work all that. You work so hard, and then something like that just goes so quickly. But it's rally life.
Dakar.
Anyways,
Dakar.
So you're on all the different podcasting apps. You can find.
Yep, you can find it anywhere that I know of that you can listen to the podcast. You can just search for it in a browser or in any of your podcast apps, and you can listen to it. We also have a page up on Cycle News. There's a recurring story we update all the time, so you can listen to them on there too. There's players embedded there. We got an Instagram page, Dakar_Rally_Daily, that we post updates there and links sometimes. So it's pretty easy to find the show.
Yeah. So go through cyclenews.com and find it there. Make it easy for you guys, and send Jesse some questions. Ask Quinn the really technical questions, and
you can ask me, but I'm just going to ask Quinn anyway what the answer is.
Right. And we'll keep in touch. Hey, I got a couple. So here's the thing. How do you fix the Dakar Rally, or is it broken? I mean, the funny thing is you ask, you couldn't have set it up to be better. And I just like go back and think of all the things that they've done, getting rid of twin cylinder bikes, which for me, I just like, you guys, that's so stupid. But because I really loved riding a twin cylinder bike, and then, just all the things they do, and then, switching to 450s, and it's like, 450s aren't rally bikes, and they're not. It's like they're rally bikes for girls. And I will go on record as saying this.
I'm not saying that.
It's like a rally bike, only slower. Come on. But they've done all this. So they did that way back then when to get more manufacturers involved. And now look at it. There's KTM has 3 manufacturers, but there's like 6 or 7 manufacturers in there now that are in there fielding competitive bikes, fielding teams, making it so there's rides available. They're doing lots of cool things. I know one of the struggles they're having is to try to slow the racers down. And, you hear about restrictor plates, which is stupid. And I'll just say what I think. You hear about speed limits, which is stupid, because these two things are going to get people hurt. Because when you're paying attention, when you're going 150 kilometers an hour and you're paying attention to going 150 kilometers because something's beeping at you or you don't want to get a penalty, you're not paying attention like you should be when you're going 150 kilometers an hour. And that's not slow, but it's where they want to set the kind of the speed limit at. And so I think that's something. Restrictor plates just wreck throttle response. And so when something starts going wrong, you're going to have a bike that's not going to respond, and that's how you fix a problem. So those two ideas should just be thrown off the table, but I think they're a little bit too far along to do it. And then the other thing is,
but I think you're right about the restriction rule or the speed rule. It's written, and I think everybody signed some petitions or notifications that they're against it as far as the riders go. But I mean, if you need more than 150 kilometers of speed to get you out of the situation, and your bike just simply won't do it, you're going to have to go slower all day, so you have that reserve, and you're going to be risking the time. Those guys aren't going to slow down. It's
racing. They're not going to slow down. And the quads currently have a speed limit, but the quads will barely go that fast to begin with. So this is kind of a self-regulating thing. But so and then the other problem is this big swing in, when you win a stage, the penalty you pay, coming back in the next day. And so I don't like to just bitch and complain. I like to offer solutions. And I think that the solution to all of this stuff is somehow working on the way that they're starting the bikes, the starting order of the bikes. So maybe, and they've tried a couple of these things in the past, and I'm not sure why they've gone away, but I always liked mass starts. I've always said this. I'm a big fan of the mass starting line. It's great for the TV. It's great for video. You get riders riding in packs. Then you can make the navigation ridiculously tricky, because then all of a sudden when this guessing starts going on, or maybe you kind of have to guess if they want to make the navigation that tricky, a smart guy can kind of sit back. And maybe a guy that wants to take a risk can take a risk and really, really go for it. I don't know if that would fix it, meaning that
I don't know either.
The most skilled guy wouldn't do it. But then also maybe they used to allow the winner to pick his start position. Like, where would you like to start in the order? And out of the top 10 or the top 15, and maybe even bringing the start times closer together again. So it's like 1 minute intervals. So there is some packing up, and I think that could be explored a little bit. And
I agree. I think that shuffling up the start order, maybe not a full mass start of the top 20 guys, but maybe it's 3 or 4 at a time. Maybe you're alternating, first and fifth and second and fourth and third and sixth or something like that, and everybody's still racing against the same clock, so you have some sorted system that start order gets mixed up. Because right now it is literally a penalty to win a day later. And it's not just 5 or 10 minutes. It's been 20, 30 minutes. Last year we had 6 guys that were 20 minutes ahead every day. Then the next day it was 6 other guys lost that time. And it was just like annoying to watch almost, because you're like, what's going to happen next? I know that the mass start rule in the rule book is basically anybody that organizes an event should never do a mass start. That's how it reads in the rule book right now. It says we don't recommend that.
Yeah, I think I know they had some problems with it in the cars. They had some real big problems with it, and it does tend to create chaos, But
I think there's something there.
I
asked Ricky today. I was like, "Hey, are you going to get up with Nacho and you guys going to be able to work tomorrow?" And he's like, "I probably won't see him." He's like, "Yeah, 6 minutes."
Yeah, exactly 6 minutes, and then the 3 minute gap.
He starts 6 minutes ahead of me. If I catch him, he probably had a problem, and then maybe I'll see him at gas fueling, but I don't think I'll see him.
Yeah, that's about it. So anyhow,
if Nacho's leaving and Ricky isn't going to see him all day, then you're limiting, some tactical plays there. But I think there are some positives in the rally right now. If you look at Mason, Mason's kind of an example of the future of rally sport in a lot of people's minds. And Zach Osborne was on our show today because he's a really big rally fan.
Yeah.
He knows what we're talking about. He's really smart about it. I was really surprised. He was like, I want to talk about Mason because he's a kid that saw rally when he was young, started racing. He said, that's what I want to do. And he has been a rally racer first. And he's probably going to inspire more kids that are, starting in desert racing to do that. And I think if the Dakar organization sees that, they're like, this is what we need. We need people that want to just do this, not do this as their second career after racing off road or racing moto or doing something like that. We need people that want rally as their first career. So I don't know.
Yeah, well, it as far as a motorsport, it gets exposed. At least the Dakar gets exposure. You can make a living if you're good at doing Dakar, doing essentially one race a year. It's like the Tour de France.
Yeah.
Are there any other bicycle races in the world? No, just one.
Yeah.
And then that's sort of the way that the Dakar is. Although there is a whole World Rally Series, and they're really trying. Now that ASO owns that, they're trying to bring that a little bit more to the forefront. So there's a lot of stuff.
Kind of a lot of stuff going on.
So anyways, exciting.
That shows some good stuff, but you're right. I don't know if it's broken or not, but it was on day one. That's for sure. Exciting times. We got like I said, 4 more days. I don't remember now.
Yeah, exactly. It's
3 or 4.
Yeah, it's gonna be nuts. So if you want to keep up on it, you can listen to the guy doing limericks on TV when he talks about the races. Yeah, I'm surprised. Are you writing for that, Jesse? Because it seems kind of like it's got a little bit of your writing style.
No, I'm not into poems.
You're not into the poems. Yeah,
I'm into sarcasm and snarkism.
Snarkism, yeah. Well, you single-handedly destroyed Dirt Rider magazine. Look where that's at now.
You're welcome.
So it would have been so much better if you just would have kept doing my job for me, and I could have just been whatever I was at that thing. So awesome! Thanks for coming on the show again. Say hi to Quinn, the Crusher. Tell the Crusher, when they really want bikes crushed, call me.
Will do.
And we'll see you in the near future. Maybe out on a road book.
I hope so. I've got the itch again, man. I'm jonesing. I want to go ride some rally routes.
Yeah, cool. Okay, that is Jesse Ziegler. Thanks for
guys.
joining. See everybody. Okay.
What's up, Moto Buddies? Mike here from Taco Moto Co. What is the Taco Touch? It's the best service in the industry. Virtually 24/7 tech support via email or text. And it's like having a dirt bike doctor on call every day of the year, helping you fix your bike or recommend parts or setups for you. If you've ever received an order from us, you know that the Taco Touch extends to our fulfillment, and our orders come with the coolest stickers that you've ever had, buying parts from anybody before, and a handful of root beer barrel candies. All of our Taco Moto Co. branded components come with a no questions asked lifetime warranty, and we'll even extend out the warranty of other manufacturers, OEM, and aftermarket parts where we can, sometimes for life. We test and tune endlessly and exhaustively and obsessively. We're trying to destroy everything that we can before you get your hands on it to look for weaknesses and to improve it, or to make recommendations to the manufacturer. And if it's something that doesn't meet grade, then we don't offer it on the store. Everything that we carry is something that we have personally used, tested, and ridden and raced, and knows meets the high Taco Touch demanding standard. Go out and get some adventure.
Welcome to Tech Talk Taco Tuesday, hour number 2, I guess it is, as we like to say. Hey, I'd like to give a big shout out to Martin Hackworth and the Tour of Idaho. I'm wearing the Tour Lives Matter shirt today, and I got my Tour of Idaho calendar in here. And if you ever want to be jonesing about
that calendar is rad.
Yeah, like
that thing makes me want to ride so bad.
Every picture,
the pictures are so
every
cool.
picture makes it so you want to go riding.
So cool. Signal trails are amazing.
I think Martin is getting back to doing his PBR Monday podcasts and stuff, where he talks about the tour, answers your Tour of Idaho and related questions, all that kind of stuff. So check that out. You can follow actually, it's hard. I think there's a Tour of Idaho Facebook group, but it's pretty hard to get into it. And he tries to limit the attendance. Probably a good idea sometimes because of all the craziness that goes on with that. But anyways, Tour of Idaho. Thanks, Martin. I need to do that again. Actually, Andrew Short wants to go do that with me, really bad. So I don't know if I want to ride with that.
If you need somebody to carry along the way,
yeah, I like soloing it. We'll see. Actually, we're gonna go. Hey, we're gonna go ride adventure bikes on the Tour of Idaho. Me and that Andrew dude.
That dude.
So welcome back, everybody. Let's see. I'm going to run over into the question thing. Chris Real, good show. Glad to get a bit of Dakar from Jesse Z. Nice addition. Chris Real, we had a question where somebody wanted to know whether a slot or a hole was better on the small end of a connecting rod. So maybe if we have to, we could call you to get that answer, because I think it's more than a couple lines. So hopefully we'll turn to experts when we need to. So this is the section of the show where we do Rooster Endo. This is where you send us a picture of your bike. You put down a list of the things you've done to it. We print out a picture over here. Me and some of my infinite wisdom that's not really infinite will tell you what we think about the bike. And so who is our first candidate, Jimmy?
Sean Paisan.
Pinzon.
Whatever.
Pinzon. Okay.
Nobody cares about that stuff.
So
2020.
Logan is going to get this up on the screen for you. But what bike are we looking at?
2020 KTM XCF 500.
Here, so what you can do is you can relax, sit back, and let that microphone come to you.
All right.
Yeah, and then...
so here we got a massive list of stuff here. Mako 360s, BDP radiator stick guard, Taco Moto turn signals, and Tidy Tail. Those are cool, I think, right? I don't know a lot about dual sports, but
so the
are those the LEDs that go on the upper tube?
The Taco Moto Tidy Tail is basically... it's like an integrated, you take off your stock KTM, big, cantankerous, heavy, DOT mandated license plate holding with all the light things. And you put on a very Sano, nice little thing with a couple LED lights for your turn signals and a nice LED tail light that's a little bit smaller, that's brighter than the stock one. And it even has, I'm pretty sure, I don't know if it's an accessory thing or an extra thing. It's got a magnetic attached license plate holder that's actually on a flap. I think this may be a secondary thing, but it's part of it. You can get it as part of it. So when you hit your license plate and you usually try to tear your fender off, well, now the license plate kind of flops away. It's kind of on a little rubber strap, and then it plops back down and sticks back into place. So that's what a Tidy Tail is or could be. Yeah. It either is that or it could be that.
I like the turn signals on the is it a little LED thing?
They're just little tiny LED like
that wrap around the upper tube of the fork. Is that what they are?
Oh no, that's a different thing.
Oh, that's not okay.
That's a different thing.
But Taco's got those, right?
Tacomoto.co is where you need to go to find out all the answers to the questions you just asked. Because
I do.
I don't go on there because I have 60 motorcycles, and almost every one of them needs 20 things from that website. And at that point, I will have to sell this house.
Yeah. I did find something really cool in there. I can't remember what it was, but it's like a way to make your bike into a boat. Not kidding.
Sean Paisan is kind of pissed because you're not talking about his bike anymore.
Okay. Pro Moto billet rack, Trail Tech Voyager Pro with a Pro mount, Moto Minded Epic Light Kick, OEM KTM wraparound handguards. Didn't even know they made wraparounds. Have to see those.
I don't think they're OEM KTM. I'm
OEM
looking.
they make a wraparound OEM?
I don't think so.
I don't either.
You can probably, they might be KTM hard parts ones.
Yeah, but those are usually just somebody's, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Double take mirrors, P3 heat shield, carbon heat shield, a Cherubies carbon discard, giant loop Fandango, Stegs pegs, Tugger lift straps front and rear, bulletproof designs, swing arm guard, BDP thread bars, Dingo racing fork guards. This baby's got some guards. TM design fork lugs, protection, wheel weights, tubeless front and rear, golden tires, the 333N and the 216 fatty, KTM Premier rear discard. That must be a hard part. P3 carbon caliper rear guard, a 1 gallon Roto Packs, Baja Works EXC windshield. Is this a rally bike, I guess?
No, it's
got a windshield.
It has a windshield. It's for wind resistance, not for holding the rally stuff up.
Okay.
So I'm looking at this bike and I'm just going.
It's just got everything, baby.
This is my one question. How come it has the stock tank on it?
Does it really?
It has a stock tank and the Roto Pack, and he has a tank bag. He has a giant loop tank bag. It looks like so. It's like I'm not seeing the disadvantage of taking that Roto Pack off the back and throwing a little extra capacity in the tank, because weight up high and in the back is probably the worst place you can put it. But at least he's trying to keep himself from becoming a problem by putting the steg pegs on there, so he can't fall back onto that thing. But you know what? Here's what is cool about this. I'll bet you this is the perfect bike. What kind of light does he have on it? I see he's got a headlight.
It's got a Moto Minded.
Moto Minded.
Yeah, Epic Light Kick.
Oh, so that's the Baja Designs lights into that kit. There is a lot of stuff on this motorcycle, but I like the American flag in the background. Big fan. Like the American flag, but the garage is almost as messy as mine, except there's no cat in it. So since with small tank and cat,
we got the other discard, style discard where it covers the whole thing.
Well, at least it's not a big metal thing.
No, I get you. And
he has the nice TM Design Works plastic ones and thing. It's endo.
Yeah.
Endo.
Okay, moving on.
I just can't.
This guy's like Prince. He only has one name.
Okay, what's his name?
Kieran.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, give me the picture.
There's this picture.
You got that, Kieran? I recognize this.
Are you sure?
It didn't take like a few seconds to recognize this.
Yeah, it's a TTR, right? A 2011 FE 570S. That would be a Husaberg.
Yeah,
he left that out.
He didn't even write Husaberg down.
He didn't even bother to do that. Had a few mods when I got it, including a subframe fuel tank, radiator guards, shark fin.
You know what that's like? That's like saying, I'm religious.
Oh.
and you're like, okay, well, who's your guy or whatever? And you're like, I'm just faithful. It's like, well, what's his name? And you don't even say. Yeah. It's like you this is like a higher power of motorcycles, and you're not even acknowledging. I mean, for all we know, it could be a Zim Zam or a Himalayan or something like that. But anyways, okay.
Yeah, but I'm with you. It's implied. It's well implied that you should know. Everybody should know what that is.
It's like you should. I was going to do something that would probably just get this podcast completely thrown off the air.
We just get a plug pulled.
I might have made a gesture and said something like, something Husaberg. I'll leave it at that because it's a really good idea. It would definitely get a lot of jokes, but I've become a little bit smarter in my old age. That's why I'm going to pour another shot of tequila. So keep going with all the lists.
Subframe fuel tank,
It's called a 70-degree racing subframe fuel tank, and they're no longer available. And if you have one, you're lucky because it extends the range of the thing. And if you have one,
does it have dual fuel tanks?
There's basically a fuel tank in the subframe. So the whole bike is a giant fuel tank, which is kind of
chew up some of the airbox or something.
They're just now, like I have them on both of my bikes, they're starting to seep around the inserts.
They're going to be epoxy specials soon enough, huh?
Yeah, something like that.
Radiator guard, shark fin, chain cable support bracket, Scott's dampener, competition Husaberg map reflash, seat comp tips seat, Warp 9 cush drive, wheel laced on Warp 9 blue bling front rim, stock wheel assembly, brand ball mounts for double take mirrors or my enduro roll chart. Oh, this guy. I'm tall, so I had an IMS core enduro down and back pegs with a bit more ground off so we ground them down to get some more drop. You like that more than raising bars?
I didn't hear anything you just said because I was busy
Thinking of tequila.
pouring a little bit of tequila, and the fact that it's a Husaberg, this bike roosts, you can just put it up there right next.
Okay.
You could put it in good company up there.
We get it.
Not over. Yeah, it can't get close to the premium Husaberg.
But he's got IMS down and back pegs. You like that more than lifted bars for a tall guy?
It's a slippery slope. Yeah. Lowering foot pegs is a slippery slope, especially for a taller guy that tends to be more of a pendulum. And because you can really get the bike, if you get it to bottom, there's a reason foot pegs are set kind of where they're at, and so to protect your feet so they don't kind of get blown off. I am a fan of moving foot pegs back a little bit. I've had really good success with this on other bikes, but not because I was tall, because I'm not. I'm perfect. And I don't think I've ever said that before, but I just like to, let you know why certain things are the way they are. But sometimes when you move the foot pegs back, it can really affect the handling of the motorcycle. It can change the way it can make it. It can make it more stable, or it can make it, kind of handle a little bit differently. So that's a roost. Yeah,
she roost. Also has a DDC on it. Sprocket.
Oh, yeah, good. Plug all the sponsors around here, because we don't talk about anything that isn't sponsor related on the show. You should just know that we're completely bought off. By the way, tonight was a Milagro tequila, the Reposado.
Sweet.
So in a nice big bottle. It's a good go-to, good standard issue stuff there. Logan was trying to protect me. He was actually slid the picture of that bike. So when you're watching this, if you're listening to this, when you're watching it live on the show, we actually flash a picture of the bike up, and Logan tried to block me so I could, because try to keep it off screen a little bit. You know what I mean? Good job.
Right.
I was trying to get my bartender to come in here tonight. So, okay, next.
Okay. Scott Glimp.
I know Scott Glimp.
So do I. I don't know him, but I've seen him ride. 2008 Honda 450X Recluse Z Start Pro, Scott's dampener, oil cooler, fast heads headwork with R valves and R cam, PC T4 header and silence, IMS tank with dry brake, Pro Action suspension.
This is a bike shooting straight at the heart of Ricky Brabeck.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ricky is a big fan of this particular model, the older Sierra 450X. It's an X, right?
It's an X.
It's an X.
08 450X.
I like the big number 1C. What class?
I've actually watched this guy race and seen him ride this bike.
Yeah.
He knows how to set a bike up for himself. Because
he's a big dude.
He's a big dude. And he can.
Hey, wait a minute. He doesn't have a lowered backed foot pegs. He doesn't have those. He doesn't have high bars.
No. He can really set up a bike too. Or for him anyway.
Yeah. No, he's been doing it for
all that matters. Right?
He was racing back when I was racing.
Really?
So
Okay. You could tell.
Knows how to do it. I think this. I don't know. Was this the bike that they raced in Parker this weekend? Because my other good buddy Tim Morton, I heard,
no clue,
raced Parker, and I just kind of glanced at a Facebook.
I do know he raced a lot of Best of the Desert, Moran, Bet Nevada stuff.
And I saw a post from Tim that said, "Hey, I came out of retirement after 20 years and went and raced a race, and I think we did really good." But I don't remember any of it because I crashed and hit my head. And I think he raced with Scott. And actually, if he raced with Scott, and Tim is like a twig, he makes Logan look kind of bulky. Tim Wharton's like a how like a really frail old man looks. That's Tim, who rides like probably more than me. Like, guy rides all the time because he's doing his tours and stuff like that. So if Tim got on this bike, he would be like a flag on the back of it. But this is
compared to Scott.
So if this bike got cartwheeled last weekend, it's a roost.
It's a roost.
Yeah,
like I said, I've seen that bike.
You've seen the bike work. It's a roost. It's a good looking bike. It's Ricky Braybeck approved.
So
put it up there in the roost thing. So what?
Scott says it was a few years ago with Tim, not this year.
Oh, not that was a repost of an old race. Must be. Yeah. I see. That's the thing. Is like Facebook posts memories, and like I don't have a memory, so then I just think it's what happened yesterday. Like it shows me pictures of me doing things I did 10 years ago, and I didn't do that. I didn't post that on
Didn't
Facebook.
tell me I didn't do that last
Yeah. So I need to just go on the other whatever other app that we're doing it. I wonder if anybody came over from Instagram. Do we get any questions on Instagram? Is Matt going to text those over to us, or did he start going through another bad phase of his quitting? He's quitting this job. Okay, what do we got here?
Chance McCamish.
Chance McCamish. This is a District 37 race bike and a checker.
He's a checker, huh? 2022 350 XCF. Cone valve and track shocks.
He probably bought those from Trevor after I told Trevor they were junk and Trevor
got the
tried to sell them.
stuff.
Yeah.
Got the good. GPR stabilizer. DDC sprocket.
I think if you're a checker, you have to run a GPR stabilizer.
Is that the thing?
I think you have to. It's just when you finally get your checks, they probably hide a GPR stabilizer.
They probably throw it in there, huh?
I was going to say on your body, but they probably hide it in your girlfriend's body, and you're required to retrieve it.
I like these guys.
Yeah, they tried to get me in the club a long time ago.
I would imagine.
I was a little too straight laced, but they did. Little did they know. Little did they know.
Faster USA wheels. Do you know those?
Yeah, I've heard of them. Yeah.
Kenda tires with mousses.
Mousses.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm getting creative.
That's good.
Here.
Yeah.
Solid rear rotor. Is that good for mud or something?
That's yes, that's the solid rear rotors are good for mud. Mm-hmm. Being that's a desert racer, probably not riding in the mud a whole lot, but I've seen guys run those for better, for a different kind of a braking feel. And this is something that you can do. I mean, people don't realize how critical like brake pads and rotors and stuff can be.
KTMs are pretty bitey for a lot of guys, right?
They're a little too bitey.
Yeah.
In the sometimes the slots increase and sometimes they decrease the brake feel. It a lot of it depends on the material the rotor's made out of and the pads you're running. Ooh. But he could be like a brake dragger and he was warping
slotted rotors.
The slotted or the whole rotors.
Interesting. Okay. That's another cool thing on here I want to ask you about. IMS tank and dry brake. Not that. We know what those are cool. Mm-hmm. Honda rear axle.
Okay. So this is something that I believe Ride Engineering makes a kit for. Mm-hmm. And you switch it over. So you know how the KTMs have the way the axle block is, it's not screwed into the axle. Well, this actually screws the axle into the axle block on the one side, so they're not all. And people say it makes the bike handle better and stiffer. It would be stiffer.
I don't think I'd ever notice that.
I have tried a bike with this, and I did not notice it. And I'm really
You're a pretty feely guy.
I'm really picky about stuff, and that was one thing that I just didn't notice. But then I know a lot of racer guys that are running it, and they're really happy with it. So that's all the stuff.
Okay.
More things.
S by S skid plate and EE hand guards.
Yeah, this is a very. I think this bike looks really good.
I like it too.
I've always liked checkers and the checks, stuff. But
I've always loved
he's got that guy that's going, the checker, the checker logo guy. I think that's Al Baker. I think that's a it was a cartoon caricature of Al Baker back in the day. I think. But anyways, it's a good looking bike. I like it.
Roosty baby.
That's a District 37 desert.
Yeah, she's a desert dogger. It's got some cone valves and stuff on there, but she's still a desert dogger.
And it's got a big tank, so
yeah. Dry brake.
That's the only reason the other one endoed is because the
homie's probably fast, right?
I think so.
Chucker.
I don't know.
Always fast guys.
Well, you're kind of supposed to be a certain speed to be a checker, I guess, but
Thought so. I don't know. Now we got a video. From Eric. This is all I know.
2018.
Send it.
2018 Husky FE350. The rear tire is a Ride 220. It's like a semi-gummy. I got tubeless in the rear and also have tubeless in the front. And this one I'm running the Michelin Starcross. Have the Fastway Evo 4 pegs. I have them in the lower position. I have the little Enduro Engineering brake pad. For the license plate, I just cut off the stock one and moved it up a little bit higher. Seat, concept seat. Have the JD tuner. For the front sprocket, I run a 15 if I'm riding out in the desert, or a 14 for tighter stuff. I run a larger filter. Have the Trail Tech Voyager Pro. Scott stabilizer. The Mako 360. And also their mount for the Scots, the underbar mount. Double take mirror. Cycra hand guards. Cyclops LED bulb. ODI lock-on grips. I have the BDS radiator guards. E-line pipe guard. AXP skid plate with the linkage guard. Rear shock was resprung from my weight, and TCS revalved it, sprung from my weight, and I have not done any work to them yet. The only thing I've done is added a little more oil. The only modification I did to the exhaust was I just knocked the screen out, and I have this giant loop heat shield for when I run those bags. I also have this Polysport side cover.
Get back to the show. Okay, we need to fix this so I can talk over the top of this guy. That's another nicely set up,
for sure.
Nicely set up bike.
Sport. Yep.
I started getting confused in the beginning when I started looking at his wheels and all the wheel weights and balances and stuff that he had on there. Like how much weight he added to the bike just with wheel weights. And if they're that out of balance to begin with, I'm a little worried. Yeah, Matt, we got to make.
Do you do that?
Or Logan, you got. This is your job. You got to figure out how I can talk over these things. And it was too long. Can't.
Yeah,
he knows it was too long.
He said, "Sorry, just a little bit over."
Just a little bit over. Did he say that in the video that we just watched?
No.
Or it was in the email? Email. But I tell you what, I did say on the last show, so if you pay attention, you're a regular viewer, that the first video submission that we got that was, I kind of said done properly or, under 2 minutes, kind of breaking some rules here. And I know we had somebody else sent us a video, but I think it was like 20 minutes long or something about their bike. I mean, we can all go on and talk about our bikes forever and ever, I guess, because they are kind of like children. So this bike, because of the video, was 20 seconds too long.
36, but yes.
It was 36 seconds too long?
Yeah.
It endos. This bike endos. But what was his name? Eric?
Yeah. You
are the winner of the Taco Moto $100.
Boom.
Yeah. So you can get some more cool stuff for your bike. I would suggest maybe that Pro Moto billet end cap. Because he
knocked out that. Is that why that guy had a Pro Moto? One of those dudes.
Yeah, he said it was
the
quiet.
500.
Yeah, it stays quiet. It's just a little bit more sand.
Okay.
I mean, I I hate to say it, but I knock them out of mine too. That's actually a lot of times.
Is it a spark arrestor or what?
It's just a sound suppressor. The spark arrestor stays in there. So, that might be a cool thing to get. Or there's about 740 other things that you could get off tacomoto.co to make that husky. Maybe it'll transfer it up into the endo, and if you just cut a few seconds off that video. He actually, it looks like he took time to edit it all together. He strung all those videos together. What did you think he used? Like Insta YouTube video production, something or other? He submitted it on YouTube.
Yes.
So almost anybody can do it, even not me.
Or maybe he used some,
like his Apple iPhone-tography app.
No, it was some.
Okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go into chat room roulette questions, but not after I mentioned. You know, one of the things that was hot on the internet. I think we talked about this the other night at Supercross when we were having our Supercross watching party. Mm-hmm. By the way, we don't talk about any racing on this show at all. That's why we're just completely ignoring Supercross. I don't know what happened with Ziegler. That guy snuck in here without me knowing what was going on.
Car guy.
Everybody's talking about electric water pumps because somehow that made the internet rounds. It's the new hot thing. It's like we can forget about 90-degree fuel lines being like a problem on motorcycles. We can just toss out the fact that every TPI bike will blow up no matter what. And I'm loving mine, by the way. I finally own one.
I saw yours.
It's mine. Yeah. Mine's cherry. I like it. It rips. I'm really happy with it. And all I've done to it is half or quarter turn of power valve adjustment. By the way, not recommended by KTM whatsoever, but I did it and it worked good for me. And then just put gas in it and ride. Right. So, but the electric water pump thing hit kind of critical mass this week. So I kind of did a little research, and now there's a couple people that are trying to jump on the bandwagon to start selling electric water pumps because evidently that's going to free up some extra horsepower in your motorcycle. And so, being a tile guy now, one of the things I had to do was I was mixing up the grout and the thin set with my little spade, spinning this spade through kind of a thick, heavy substance. Yeah. But then when I go to clean it, I put it into the water and I spin it, and I notice the very little, and that thing's not really pushing water, but it does push a lot of water, and it is kind of the same theory. And I'm going, who's buying the horsepower off of this? I mean, who's really buying that for horsepower? And I could tell you what, if you're a top team and you've got unlimited budget and you're looking for every single ounce of power, you might explore this. But I promise you, there's 10 other things that you could do that could be much easier and more effective, like right down to, I hate to bring this up, but the oil you run could, Chris will back me up on this, Chris Reel, the petroleum expert that I consult with when I have questions like this. You could choose a different oil and it would make way more difference than adding weight to your bike and more complexity and another point of failure with the electric water pump. But here's why I really think certain teams may or may not be running an electric water pump if they actually are. It's to keep the engine running at the optimum temperature. It's not for the drag reduction, because you think about it, and depending on different kind of racing and the speeds, the motor may vary, and the water pump is tied to the speed of the engine RPM, and it's kind of consistent. It doesn't change that much, but. And then another thing, because I've tested this a bunch, and there's like different impellers and different housings, and then you can go to bigger or smaller radiators, and you can have a thermostat in or take a thermostat out. There's all kinds of stuff that you can do. If you actually wanted to control the water temperature easier, you would use a thermostat, knowing that your radiators have the potential to cool the motorcycle more than what the thermostat is going to run. And then the other thing, and you'll see this a lot with certain bikes, is they start tying the oil cooling system into the radiator, because where the heat is actually produced is in the clutch. So it kind of depends on the rider. There's so much going on here, but the fact that these are the same internet dummies that I see commenting on, like the Dakar, where they don't really know that much about it, but they're free to just drop a bomb of an opinion. This is the same thing, and this happens way more on this kind of stuff. And I'm going, like, it's the new hot thing. So I think we need to just, pay attention to it, absorb a little bit more information from the experts before. But maybe if you're smart, you're already selling this electronic water pump, and I'm going to sit here and laugh. No, I'm not. I'm not going to laugh. I'm just going to be amazed at how many of those things you can sell, because evidently a factory team may or may not be running this. And the other thing about it is, like, if you're doing this like in AMA competition, you get to leave your other water pump on your motorcycle, because you can't modify this, because it's cases, a lot of times. So I don't think I don't know what it could just be hollow inside there, but who knows? What's your take?
Those guys are looking for different.
Did you buy one for Logan yet? Because we need to have his race results improve.
Yeah.
So there's really we should leave no stone unturned.
Not looking for the last 1/1,000,000th of a percent out of.
Oh, we need to. Yeah. Logan, you need tell your dad electric fuel pump. Electric water pump. Yeah. And tell him you want a better cam for your 2-stroke, because the internet said that.
Well, think about the 2-stroke advantage.
Get a hot cam in that thing.
The same. If they just get rid of the oil out of the crankcase, that would free up a lot of horsepower too. That crank banging around in all that oil.
Right.
Big deal.
That's why Husky put a reed valve in their 4-stroke motor back in the days. Husaberg did it too, but
But get rid of that. Yeah. Get rid of that crankcase oil.
Yeah. All this stuff you can do these days. Bob woke up and is now raising his hand. Bob, a question from the field.
90% of the power absorbed by the gearbox
90% of the power absorbed by the gearbox is due to moving oil.
Yeah.
90% of the power absorbed by the gearbox. Let me think about this. Well, so that's not the power transmitted.
No, so if you have 10 horsepower going into the transmission,
yeah,
and you have 8 horsepower coming out.
Right.
So the transmission's absorbed 2 horsepower.
Right. Transmission absorbed 90% of that absorption is because of the drag of the oil. Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
That's why most modern stuff, racing stuff, goes to dry sump.
Yeah, that's it.
And so because the gears to move the oil are tiny compared to the gears in the transmission.
So, right. And if you've ever spun an oil pump gear just in a modern 4-stroke, with the oil pump in there, with oil inside of it, you feel the drag. There's drag there. And if you've ever turned your damn motor over and felt the drag it takes to lift the cam, have the cam lift the lifter or push on the bucket or do all this stuff, like there. And this is where teams spend a lot of money and time to determine how to reduce some of those sort of things. How light of a valve spring can we go to reduce the drag on this or the force on this, but then still close the valve quick enough. Yeah,
that's why a lot of car, they're using electric, not production stuff, but electric valves that eliminate that.
Yeah, pneumatic, electric. All
there is no mechanical drag.
Yeah, on that, and so there's all different kinds of stuff. Like, might as well just take the flywheel off and go to total loss battery ignition. Why wouldn't you do this if you're really looking for drag? Because that drag on the flywheel with the magneto is a significant force. So
sure,
you guys just hold. Yeah, you need a flywheel, but you don't have to have any magnets inside of it.
Yeah,
you don't have to have any. You don't have to have any. You don't have to generate power there.
Right. So when the magneto's generating current, it's
stabilizing the rod to a certain extent, stabilizing the crank.
It's balancing the crank and rod, but when it's generating electricity, that's horsepower is taking away.
horsepower
Sure,
is exactly. It's
That's what he's saying.
what I
Get
say.
rid of it and
Hey,
just
so
have a battery.
So back in the day, and back in the day, my Honda XR80 that I was modifying to win World Backyard Supercross Championships. There was a time when we went to total loss ignitions, so we would just have a small battery and the points in there, and no flywheel on the thing, because then it went wabba wabba. It revs so stinking quick. So like none of this stuff is new, but you guys just slow down with pounding on the keys. Don't get all excited because somebody posted a picture of an electronic water pump on the thing. Although you probably should get one. Because then you'd be the first guy, and then you could tell everybody how much more power it makes. And I will offer a solution, because I hate to complain without offering a solution. So when your bike is not making as much power as it should, the first thing and the only thing that you should do is
get a big bore.
No. Turn the throttle forward.
There's that.
Turn. It's free and it works almost every time.
Big bore.
Yeah. So, okay. Do we have any other questions? I'd like to say I really enjoy my Climb Dakar gear. It's been getting me through the winter.
Same.
Yeah. Keep those zippers shut. In the winter, the zippers are closed, my friend. And I got pockets so I can put my phone in there. And the only thing I know how to do with it, especially on Instagram, is I've got you in my pocket. I haven't done a new episode, but I need to do one on my
Got
new
the YZ, man. The 125 that makes the best.
It makes the best noise, but I'm going to put it on. I'm going to ride my 300, and
that's not bad.
my menu 300. You're just going to hear it just torque along and go. Do we have questions?
Yeah, we do. Cole Smith, what are your thoughts on the Cush Drive hubs? Do the KTM clutch hub cushions effectively do the same thing?
Yes.
Yes, they do then.
What are my thoughts on a Cush Drive hub? It's just an extra thing. Do you need it? If you were, I mean, if you were jumping and landing on really good traction, like on pavement, if you're like supermoto racing and landing on pavement, or skimming supercross hoops for like long, like hoops are like the hardest thing. It's the shock, and those clutch dampers they do it. I mean, it essentially it dampens between the clutch and because I'm thinking about like the shock on. So that will help with the shock on the transmission. So if you are experiencing some sort of a transmission failure, that could be a benefit. It would be another intermediate that would kind of prevent the shock from going through the transmission. But it just depends on how you're doing it. How, like, when it locks up. When it gets to full power and everything. It would be helpful. It may actually be overkill, but I am not an engineer, and I don't even play one on this show. So next.
Good friend Victor Andre. Question: is it possible for the float on an XR600R to bend out of position after hitting a deep pothole? Nonstop fuel overflow, even after hitting the ball with a small rock to stop the problem.
So this is Victor. Victor's our resident Hispanic that definitely brings a lot of flavor. We'll call it the Helados. Yeah, man, the ice cream dude. He was the ice cream dude at the King of the Motos. Victor was. That's how I met him. So Victor, the possibility of bending a float from hitting something, you would have to hit something so freaking hard. I mean, there's no doubt that you could do this. Actually, I could do it too, but you could do this. But I'm going to guess that that's not the case. I'm going to guess that the impact, the bump that you may have hit that started this, probably jarred something loose in the fuel line, like the fuel line or something in past the petcock, because he's talking about what, XR400, XR600,
600,
XR600. So the petcock in that motorcycle has a pretty good screen, yeah, and And so it's not junk in the gas tank unless somehow it slipped by there, or that screen is XR600 is long enough to where it could be cracked. But I'm more guessing that jarred something loose in the petcock or the fuel hose, and now that little piece of rubber and or debris is now lodged in between the thing. So what happened is that impact actually caused the floats to go down and just open up, but not bend, but it opened up enough to where that piece of debris got in between the needle seat or the float valve seat and it's holding it open. So the best thing for you to do is pull over, cook a burrito on your muffler.
Get a big bore kit.
A big bore kit would be much advised.
Absolutely.
But at that point, what you can do is shut the gas off. Here's how you fix this. I'm gonna give some good advice for anybody with a carburetor, because I've had to do this many, many times. So shut the gas off. Use the drain on the side of the carburetor, or you can lay it over, but I prefer to just stick the flat bladed screwdriver in there, open up that drain, take that screw all the way out, let all the gas drain out of the carburetor, and that'll let the floats fall all the way down. And generally that's enough to allow that piece to actually pass through. So then you open up the gas and let it flow through. It'll flush it out.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah.
Then flush it out, because you're flushing it out without doing a carb change or, pulling the carb off. Then shut the gas back off, put the screw back in, and you should be good. So be careful with hitting it with rocks. I know that's the number one tool in your arsenal.
In your bag.
Yeah. So, but just go easy on the rocks, bro. Okay. Next question.
Scott Glimp.
The
big boy. How about Sanders' crash on the pavement? Bonehead move? Triple question mark.
Scott, when was the last time you rode? I'm going to go with it was a day after the rest day. So 2 days in a row, but after riding 6 days for that long. I don't know. Daniel Sanders seems like a pretty free spirit, or should we say loose screw, or just winging it a lot of the times. Yeah. And when I first heard that, I kind of chalked it up to, okay, maybe, this is just me being judgmental and beat me up on social media. I don't care, whatever. I kind of go, oh, geez, like what was going on there? But then again, you know what? I heard it described what happened. It was they were kind of like leaving town. He was overtaking a slower car and kind of ended up in the fast lane, which actually was a U-turn pocket. And those rally bikes, the lights aren't all that good. And it was dark.
It sounds like.
And plus, you're tired, you're fatigued, you're thinking about something else, whatever. And it just sounded like a honest to goodness, true accident that could have happened to anybody. And what do I think about it? It's tragic. And it was funny because when I was talking with Jesse earlier, like, I'm the guy that says, don't make it easier for anybody. Like, I don't want to see that race get any easier. But I'm almost to the point now where, like, screw these damn liaisons. Load the damn bikes up in the truck, because they're almost that way now, and just take them to the damn start and have a motorcycle race.
All things goes on in them, don't they?
I don't know what this adds except for an extra level of
fatigue, right? Of
kind of pain and suffering that's undue. And in all honesty, I really wanted to go to South America and ride the Dakar, and I had a couple opportunities to be able to go do it, kind of as a it wasn't going to cost me anything. Let's put it that way. I was able to go do it. And you know why I didn't go? Liaisons.
Yeah.
Because as much as I've ridden down there before, I've ridden some of these roads and stuff like that. And if you can do it on your own time, own time, during the day when it's not freezing cold in the morning or it's not dark, they're beautiful places to ride. But I just didn't want to go ride 600 kilometers to go race for 120 some kilometers and followed by a couple 100-kilometer liaison.
Yeah,
so like, load them up in the truck or make the damn stages 700 kilometers long.
That's what I say.
Make them, and you have the ability with the road book to be able to kind of like neutralize sections. So if just because they want to have just this one racing in one section because it's easy for people to understand, but maybe they do race instead of going a 250 kilometer section. Maybe there's of that 200 of is off road and racing, and then you hop back on and do 50 kilometers and come back and maybe that'll eliminate it. But it's a sad thing that guys are going out on in a liaison, and especially a top rider, and don't make the rally easier. Just quit. Like, I don't want to ride street. It's not like
you
street
said.
bike.
Just
it's
riding to San Francisco to race for an hour is
a long ways. Yeah,
wild.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a wild concept, but everything about that place I think is wild. Jason Nadler, Jimmy, here's a question for you. Do you use a clutch to upshift and downshift?
You know what's funny is I don't that much.
I don't either.
And somebody I don't know. I think Trevor was asking me. He goes, "Hey, that KTM has quick shift." I go, "My KTMs have always had quick shift,
don't they all?"
And having experienced like a manufacturer introduced quick shift onto some motorcycles, I don't like it because every once in a while my foot touches the shift lever when I don't want it to, and it does a little bit of a rev cut. And I haven't ridden the new KTM, so I can't really speak to exactly how it works and what its function is. But you do not want a rev cut at the top of a lip of a jump that's activated by your foot when all of a sudden you start, doing something in order to take off, and you get that little bit of a rev cut. So because maybe this is kind of where it's going, but no, I don't use the clutch. I tend to blip the throttle. I do something to blip the throttle. But one of my things I do when I test a motorcycle, any motorcycle, is I will rifle it through the gearbox without using the clutch to find out how good the shifting is. And then I'll do it with the clutch to see what the difference is. So, I'll figure out how much toe pressure it takes to get the bike. So I'm giving away one of my secrets here. So when, Insta Bro 270 Moto Journalist 5 comes on the internet and he talks about, it's smooth shifting, clutch is silky as smooth as they're thinking about the wordsmanship, but they don't know what the hell they're talking about. I have a routine that I go through with any motorcycle where I'll rifle it through the transmission in a lot of different ways. Full power upshifts, rolling it on and see how it shifts. Does it mishift? Are there any gaps in the transmission? It's probably not the most friendly thing to do motorcycles, but they all kind of handle it. And on top of that, if you ever wondered about does oil matter? This makes a difference. Like if you you can tell when an oil is, I'll call it slipperier-ish, with certain, because I've actually, especially on two strokes, I've noticed, going between I've tried, an ATF before and a motorcycle transmission fluid and a motor oil and maybe a not so good of a motor oil and then maybe a super slippery motor oil in some sort of a test that I did. And you can notice a big difference in shifting performance based on what you're putting inside of your engine and or transmission, by the way. FYI. Who asked that question?
That was Jason Nadler.
Hey, Jason. Hopefully that helped you out.
Yeah.
Tell all your friends you heard about it on Tech Talk Taco Tuesday. Yeah. And then when you're buying new transmission parts, after you try Jimmy's technique, go to RockyMountainMC.com. Rocky Mountain ATV.
Click the link in the banner.
Yeah, click the link. Go to Dirt Bike Test. Click the link there, and then they have one of the best OEM parts finders known to man. Your stuff will get there quicker than any other way, and then buy those transmission parts.
Buy cool stuff, man.
Yeah.
Enjoy life.
Yeah.
J Troop Wombat. Probably a fake name. It's too cool to be real.
Well, it's a fake name, but it's a cool name. It's like an Instagram handle. Like,
okay.
You could have a crazy Instagram handle, and I could think you're a dick on Instagram, and then I don't realize it's just you.
I got one of them wild ones like Jimmy.
Oh yeah, mine's my name.
Yeah, Jimmy. Yeah.
Logan doesn't even friend me.
That's not surprising. Well, Elliott's question was, when do we talk about Dakar? Which that's what we've been doing.
That would be the first half an hour, the second half an hour, the after the first 15 minutes to the next 45. So if you skip through it and you missed it, you probably did yourself a favor because Jesse doesn't talk about himself nearly enough. Yeah. But I do.
We'll probably keep talking about it after the show's over too, but that probably won't do you no good.
It's going on right now. I kind of wanted to go, hey, Logan, flash up the Who's
live timing?
like go to the map one. Go to the map thing, live timing or something like that. There's a hit live, and then on there good the map comes up, and then you can there we go, Moto, and then it's going to scroll. You can zoom in a little bit because that map's a little bit far out. You can watch everybody move. Check that stuff out.
Look at that. It's kind of cool.
Yeah. So, okay, we already talked about Dakar. We're over. We don't talk about racing, by the way. Why did you even ask that question?
I just because this guy's name was cool. J. Troop Wombat.
There's other shows that are way better about talking about racing than this one.
The guy had a rad name. He got me. Flynn 825. Thoughts on red moto bikes?
You know what, Flynn? I'm going to ride one real soon.
The hell's a red
My
moto?
buddy Matt Stavish is coming out. It's an Italian company that makes Honda. I'm pretty sure this is what it is. They make Honda enduro bikes. They make it's like the old CREs. Remember those? They make conversion kits. There goes the microphones and the speakers.
You can turn those up now.
I can turn them up now. I don't really want to listen to myself. So they make conversion kits for CRFs and really Sano. They make a CRF 300R.
Oh, no. These guys do make some cool bikes.
Red Moto.
Yeah.
So my buddy Matt Stavish is the U.S. importer, and he's evidently coming out here in not too long, and we're going to go ride some Red Motos. So I'll be able to tell you about
those. Those are awesome.
I should get him on the show. That guy could tell you some stories. We used to race the ISD qualifiers and stuff together.
He also wants to know what the best chain lube is.
The best chain lube. Did we ever do a chain lube shootout at Dirt Rider back in the day? I know we started working on one, and I think it got to the point where it was like starting to become non-conclusive because there was just no way to put like a controlled, any way to actually get some, we'll call it objective information based on it, like as far as what the chain lube is actually supposed to do, is it supposed to prolong the life of the chain or prolong the life of the sprocket, or of course it's going to lube it, and because we were just I think we did start doing it. We just came to the point where it was like, this is just going to be like who likes what, like which one. There was definitely some.
Okay, how about this? Because they kind of generalize it. They've got like for muddy conditions or dry conditions I know that's kind of generalized.
Oh,
but
he
is
asked
that.
that.
No, that's me.
Oh.
Would you say it's pretty important to stick to that guidelines? Like say they generally make.
It does make a difference. It makes a difference whether you're running an O-ring chain or a non-O-ring chain. It depends on when you're lubing your chain. Like, are you lubing it at the track after practice, after your moto, or before your trail ride, or are you lubing your chain when you get back from your ride? So there's so much stuff that comes into play. It's a great question. I'm not going to call it a loaded question or anything like that. I kind of prefer when it's dry and like dusty. I like to run something that's more like a penetrant type oil or a rust inhibitor, not a wax or not a lube, not a grease. Does that make sense?
Right.
So something like WD-40 kind of stuff, or like a penetrant oil, like a Toolbox Buddy, or most of the manufacturers make some sort of like penetrating lube. Generally works pretty good when it's dry because it doesn't attract a ton of dust and it kind of protects it from the elements. Then when it's like you're riding in more dirt, like stuff that sticks to it, I tend to prefer a chain wax more than I prefer the kind of the lubes.
The lube.
And my MO is I try to lube the chain when it's warm. Like
I like your theory on all that.
And
that's out to me,
especially before you wash the bike. Like if you're going to wash your bike, lube the chain before you wash the bike, because then it prevents the moisture from getting into a certain extent. And if you can lube the chain when it's warm, it tends to allow the lube to kind of sink in and get someplace. Right? And then the other thing about it is a lot of times if you lube it and then park the bike, the lube can kind of dry, and then it's not so as sticky. It kind of gets in, moves around, gets to where it needs to go, then dries up, and then it's not as sticky and doesn't attract as much dirt. But the dirt just cleans the damn lube off the chain.
Yeah. How much lube really gets past the O-rings anyway, right? On an O-ring chain, I should say.
I
don't know. I don't know if you know how to answer that.
So I do, because with another thing we did testing on was some chains and stuff one time. And so one of the things we did was we started popping chains apart at different hours, like, at 1 hour, at 10 hours, at 50 hours. And it's 100% dependent on what kind of crap you're riding in, how bad it is. Like if you're in Tulsa, Oklahoma, riding at the Zinc Ranch, your chain is going to last 2 days if it's wet. And you're going to go through a sprocket in that time. I mean, it's just gnarly. Unless you're running DDC, then it'll never wear out.
No.
Your chain will wear out.
It's just that gritty or that whatever.
Yeah, it's polishing compound or rubbing.
Oh, there you
compound.
go. It's like a valve lapping compound.
But worse. It's gnarly.
Really?
But, and out here in the desert, we just run chains and sprockets kind of forever. I was
going to say, you can be pretty lazy with a chain out here.
Yeah.
But
so you pop it apart at different things. There's a time when the O-rings seem to start to, we'll call it, fail or lose their seal. And then the lube will creep out. And at that point, it's kind of important that you keep putting lube on, just like it is on a non-O-ring chain. If you just let a non-O-ring chain just run dry and always run it dry, it won't last very long.
No, not long at all.
But so the lube does do a lot of work, but you've got to keep it on there. So you've got to add it, and you've got to give it a chance to get in and that kind of stuff. So
quite a bit more work with a non-O-ring chain.
Yeah, about the power loss with your water pump, just put an O-ring chain on there, and then that way you'll gain back whatever you lose back.
You don't get rid. You mean a non-O-ring chain, but yeah.
Well, yeah, take your O-ring chain.
Because the O-ring chain gobbles power, right?
No, it doesn't. I used to race with them on my 125.
I just know they don't put them on mini bikes and stuff because, and I don't know.
I raced with them. I had the fastest 125, and it was always running an O-ring chain.
Yeah,
so
okay.
Once it's warmed up, I think it's okay. It's not too bad.
I won't argue that at all, but yeah. Okay.
Okay. Next question.
Right, Flynn.
As Bob raises his hand out in the field, you're awake?
Yeah, the ozone and UV destroys the O-ring.
Ozone and UV destroys the.
Yeah.
Just like it destroys our skin. Okay, so next.
So put sunscreen on our chains?
What about this tequila I'm drinking? Does that destroy my O-rings?
No, just your O-ring.
My O-rings.
Bob recommends SPF 30 or better on your O-ring chain. Flynn 825. Are the maps really that good on the Trail Tech? My Garmin shows more trails than my buddy's Voyager Pro.
So the base maps in your Trail Tech are, I would say, it depends on where you're at.
I say it
depends on where you're playing. I've been blown away by how accurate they are in certain areas, how inaccurate they are in others, where there were roads that there wasn't a road, but it was actually there. Like when I trusted it to put me through on the Trail Tech. Sometimes it's been really good, and other times really bad. I've had the exact same experience with Garmin maps and their whatever base map they load in. Good things about most of these units now, if you're smart enough, you can upload the maps that you want to put into it based on, there's ways you can take snapshots of really good maps that you may have and index them and then drop them into your thing. So there's options for all of this, and it's different on every kind of unit, but I don't use a GPS like that. I'm kind of a paper map guy, believe it or not. Still, I still kind of utilize a lot of paper maps.
I like paper maps.
Yeah. And, because the screen on those things is too small for me to actually, because I'm trying to get someplace. And to follow it, you lose track of where you're at, and then you can't find because you're
every time I've ever tried to use one, it just slows the ride down to a point that it's not like.
But you need buddy tracking, and then you have me who always knows where I'm at, and then you just follow my buddy tail, and then you never get lost, and you can stay out of the dust, and I don't have to wait for your ass. Not because you're going slow. It's because I don't want to wait for you to catch back up to go, we're going this way. You just follow the buddy trail. We come to an intersection. There's no mark, nothing except for the line that goes the way that you're going to go.
Right. Yeah.
Voyager
exactly.
Pro, Trail Tech Voyager Pro. That's what the advantage is on the Trail Tech Pro, not the mapping features.
No, that buddy tracking, that's awesome. Though.
And you can make the maps inside of that as good as you need them to be, but the base maps are subjective on where you're at. Like I said, I've had really good luck with them. I've had really bad luck with them.
Well, there you go, Flynn.
Yeah.
Last question from Cameron Harris, so you better make it good. What about the dust with mass starts? I assume he's talking about mass start in Dakar.
What about the dust?
Yeah.
There's no dust when you're in front, bro. Yeah.
They're pros, man. They know how to ride in dust.
My bike. Last time we did a mass start was a BMW 900 RR, and I think. Oh, actually, the last stage I ever rode in Dakar, I pretty much got the freaking whole shot down the beach in Senegal. Yeah, and proceeded to go and break my collarbone shortly after that. Thank you very much.
Daisy.
Yeah. So get. The dust. I don't think they would do it in an area. I think they should choose it because they have a lot of sand stages and stuff. You know, I don't think it would be a big deal. It's no different than
the money behind that thing. I mean, it's
yeah. I guess when
they can have a good start with sand, or even they can water a mile of it, right?
Yeah, but then you're going to still like if it's a dusty stage, if it's in a dusty area, it probably wouldn't be the ideal place to do this.
It's whatever. There's thousands of races that start like that.
Yeah.
They're pros. They figure it out, right?
However it works, they'll exactly figure it out. So, we have any other questions floating into this thing, Logan? I see some other comments over here. They're talking about KY jelly. This is why you don't want to be in our chat rooms. By the way, Victor thanks us for his. His awesome suggestion, and Dave says he's been lubing all wrong. Do not use KY jelly. Use Moose Lube. You can use it, but use the Moose Lube that you get from one of these manufacturers, and don't use soap.
Use extra Moose Lube, right? You can't put too much, right?
Yes, you can.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
I like a nice drippy wheel, man.
Yeah. The drippy wheel's fine, but it's better than too little. Just use enough. You don't need to go overboard with it. And it also that same thing. If water's getting in there, it will kind of wash it out a little bit, and the heat can cause the lube to get absorbed into the mousse and cause some degradation. So. That's it. Garmin 276 with bird's eye satellite view. It shows everything. No, it doesn't. you know what the funniest thing about
that's SFB.
Yeah, you know what the funny thing is? I remember when my buddy Dave Donatoni was on the show last week. Listened to episode, I guess it was 124. Dave had because Dave's about he's a little off the technology compared to me. He got a Garmin Montana, and then he handed it to our buddy Peter, who did all the loading of the track logs and stuff like that. And Peter loaded some nice pictures for Dave in his Garmin Montana. So he didn't have maps. He had naked ladies.
Peter was too nice.
Yeah. Peter put naked ladies on Dave's Garmin Montana. So it's like, Dave, where are you at? And he's like, right here.
Going over the big doubles.
So, hey, everybody, thanks for joining in. I'd like to thank Yamaha, Taco Moto, Scott Sports. I've been wearing the Scott goggles, the transition lenses, which have been awesome because we've been having a lot of cloud cover lately.
Yeah.
And so when the clouds go away, they get dark. And when the clouds come back, they get light. And I see the same all the time.
Those are cool.
Yeah. Climb, like the Dakar gear. Climb is sponsoring the Dakar Daily Podcast. Check that out for the next couple days if you're into the Dakar Rally, if you're watching this live. And if you're listening to it next week, we hopefully it was an interesting race and everybody gets home safely. DDC, makers of incredible chain wheels. It's called a sprocket for those you know. Trail Tech, the Voyager Pro, which you've just talked about, and BulletProof Designs. They make radiator guards, rear disc brake guards, and guess what else they make?
Logan just got a thing to change his oil so you don't have to take the skid plate off.
Really? BulletProof Designs makes this.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I don't know about this.
You kind
New
of throw
product.
the bike on its side, pull the drain plug out, run it in there, and it just then stand the bike up.
Pours. Oh, I got it. So it's
Like an $11 part that'll save you quite a bit of time.
It's a drain plug extender.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
That's a good name for it. I don't even know what they call it.
I hate taking skid plates off.
It's not fun.
I don't like skid plates that inhibit my oil changing capability. And then I've also learned
and almost everyone I've ever does at some point does a little bit.
Yeah, it always pools. It pools up just enough between the frame rail and the skid plate.
Drive you crazy, right?
Well, so you drain it, and it seems like it all goes out there, and then you roll your bike back into your garage, and then straighten it up, and then it leaks. And where did that oil come from?
2 gallons somehow fall out of there. I get it.
You get 2 gallons too.
Yeah, it feels like it, but when you're wiping it up.
Costa Rica Unlimited. Check out their tours if you want to go get out of this world and go into another world. Go check out Costa Rica Unlimited Tours. Fast Company, maker of the Flex handlebars, they'll be coming on board really soon. Thanks to Cole for reaching out on that. And support Dirt Bike Test by clicking through our link on RockyMountainMCATV.com. Go to the website, our website, dirtbiketest.com. There's lots of information there. Trevor actually posts stories up on that thing.
Yeah,
I used to do that all the time too.
Yeah. Trevor's doing.
When are you going to start writing stories for us, Logan? I hear you're like a whiz with the written word.
I'm as good as writing as I am speaking. So
Don't expect much.
How about
is what
some
you're
math
saying.
problems, huh?
Math problems?
pretty good there.
Okay, everybody. We will see you next week. Same
buy that
bat
electric water
station.
pump.
Yeah, same bat time. Yeah. We'll probably plumb this through the electric water pump by next week.
Or a big bore. Your call.
Okay. We will see you on the trail. Cheers.
See you guys.